The Yankees picked up Aaron Boone's option for 2025, so he's gonna be back. He's running it
Yep.
back, Brig.
He is. Yep.
The American League champions. He's coming back. Is this good, bad, ugly, or indifferent?
I don't know. I don't know.
Indifferent.
I think, yeah, honestly, we've seen what we're going to get from him. I think he manages personalities really well. I think if there was any question from that, we got it from this season with Soto being in there. Not worried about that if we ever were. He defends his guys. His guys love him. They love him.
Right. Big time players.
He
manager,
wins. Yeah. He wins. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think this is bad. I think some of his management decisions have been questionable, and I think they may continue to be questionable. But, again, he's got insider information that the rest of us don't have. So it's really hard to say this is bad. It's not ugly, for sure.
No.
I doubt that it's indifferent because if you're looking at it, the ownership want dollars. And this guy puts a team on the field that puts butts in seats.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you're looking at what's in the pot, right, what's in the stew, you got to leave Boone in there because the stew is producing golden eggs, man.
Right.
I mixed 3 metaphors there. How'd you like that?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You must have been writing today. So here's the thing.
Oh, man, a lot.
This is the way I see it. Is up to this point, the only measuring stick that Aaron Boone has had is we just didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
There were areas where we just weren't good enough and couldn't get the job done. I feel like after losing the World Series the way that they did, they can look at it and be like, this is exactly where we went wrong. This is exactly where we were lacking against the World Series winning team. This is where we make up the difference. This is what we need to do going forward. And specifically, Brig, it is your defense and your base running.
100%. The base running.
Because those ended up being some of the biggest differences in this series. Yes, there was the Nestor Cortez decision to bring him in to face Freddie Freeman. But honestly, lefty on lefty, I don't feel like that's a bad decision. That's not a bad baseball decision. We have hindsight to tell us it is.
On paper. When he walked in, I said, oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah, I think we all did because
I don't
Nestor
think we need
Cortez had not
hindsight
pitched a
for that.
competitive pitch in a long time. But at the same time, though, you've got lefty on lefty, and there's a reason they call him Nasty Nestor. Would Tim Hill have been a better decision in that spot? Quite possibly, because he's been pitching.
Right, but we don't know.
There's no way to know.
And the biggest reason they call him Nasty Nestor is that when he is dealing, or when he needs to shake it up to get people back guessing at the plate, he does the wobbly, shaky pause thing. That's why he's nasty. You can't do that with guys on base. It's not necessarily his stuff every single time. It's that he's able to disrupt timing in a bunch of creative ways, and it's nasty. That's he has good stuff, don't get me wrong, but when it gets nasty is when he's playing with you.
Right, because if he didn't have good stuff, he wouldn't be around still. He obviously has good 100%. Stuff. But
yeah.
The thing is that Freddie Freeman jumped on that first pitch and sent it way back beyond where it came from.
Freddie misses that ball. If Freddie misses that ball, Nestor could have been in there for a long time. Could have. We don't know.
All he had to do was get one out.
Yep. Oh, that's
game's
true.
over.
You're right. It was one out. I don't know. I didn't need hindsight to feel like that was a bad decision. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay. I did. I thought it was interesting in the moment. Hindsight tells me it's a bad decision. How's that?
I panicked.
But
the minute
I will
they said
say
it was
overall, and I've said this before. I like Aaron Boone as a manager. I think he does a really good job with what he's given because a lot of managers, we've seen it before. Bob Melvin, we talked about it just a minute ago, don't always have a hard time managing egos, but sometimes do. And Aaron Boone does not seem like he ever has a hard time managing egos.
Nope. I agree with that.
He does a great job keeping that clubhouse together, keeping everything cohesive. It's just that sometimes there are areas where they're lacking, and I think that those areas where they're lacking this year were finally brought to light, and I think the Yankees this year in the offseason, if they're going to do it right, are going to be like, look, this is what we have to address. We have to figure out our base running situation so that John Sterling does not continue to say we're running the bases like a bunch of drunks. We need to tighten
Yeah.
up our defense because while
yeah.
it's good, it's not great when we need it to be. Period.
No, I
So
agree.
I think that now that they have everything exposed to where it's at, because we talked all year about how they have their warts, but we never said what they were.
Yeah,
Now we know
you're right.
exactly what they are.
I mean, we did
And I
sometimes,
think
but we would talk game by game, maybe, or week by week.
right, but I think generally speaking, though, their general problems were exposed in the World Series, and I think they can come back and be like, "Look, this is what we got to fix. This is what we got to do. We're going to start in spring training. We're going to get it tightened up, and we're going to be a better team going forward." And Aaron Boone is our guy for at least one more year to do so.
Yeah. It makes sense to me. It does.
Makes
the
sense
only
to me,
thing
too.
is, when I was after they lost, there was all this stuff about wanting it bad enough and the culture of the team and the organization and all of that. And Derek Jeter was brought up a million times, and he was on some late night show, talk show, and they were trying to get him to say, what would you rather lose out the whole season or get all the way to the World Series and lose that? He's like, how do you rate losing? Why would I do that? A loss is a loss. It's not over until we win everything, all of it. He's like, you want to go run down the street right now? I will beat you right now running down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That is what's missing in the clubhouse at Yankee Stadium.
You're right, and I think it's just a different mentality in Major League Baseball.
Totally.
Part of it,
It's
like
wide.
I could go on and on and on and on and on forever about the Jeter Yankees, about why things are different, but I think just basically what it comes down to me is that there's a difference in mentality, and that difference in mentality has been changed starting with travel ball, and then gets all the way up.
Yeah, you're probably
Players
right.
are wired differently now than they were then, just because people are.
I think you're right.
So.
Some people are. I think some people have that still. They still have
Right.
that fiery, black and white, win, lose, or
Right.
draw.
But
Yeah.
I still think that there's, to some degree, though, like, you've got... I always think back to Mike McGreevy on Little Big League. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are big
You do a
big
lot.
leaguers. What's better than that? What's better than that? And he says, a multi-year deal worth big bucks? That's what. There
Yeah.
are some guys like who have the Mike McGreevy attitude.
Anthony Rendon feels that way. We just talked about him.
Right. I know.
He just wants a multi-year deal
All
with
right.
big bucks. He doesn't even want to show up and earn it.